We have covered the 4 cases of Greek nouns. We've thought about prepositions, the verb of being, a me, and now on to adjectives. By the end of chapter 9, we will have made progress to be able to read in our Greek New Testament, especially 1 John or the Gospel of John, and to begin to translate phrases and recognize words. And especially with the help of adjectives, we will be able to get the ideas of the text. Let's review adjectives in English. There are 3 primary functions of adjectives in English. They provide an attribute of a noun, they act as a noun, or they predicate something about the noun. They follow a verb of being and describe something about that noun in general terms and emphasize that. The difference between the attributive and the predicate is just the verb of being. Now let's look at each column here in order. The attributive gives a quality of a noun, the head term or the head noun, so it describes this head noun. I enjoy hot coffee, hot being the adjective to describe coffee. English adjectives can function substantively as if they are a noun. Out with the old, in with the new, right from Mounts here. Old is an adjective, but here it functions as a noun. The old thing, idea, person, whatever, in with the new. And the meaning of the substantive adjective is understood by the literary context. And then the predicate adjective uses the nominative case in Greek. It asserts something, a quality about the subject. God is true. So it sort of is at just a bit of a higher level than an attributive adjective. True God, but God is true. And it emphasizes that quality about the head noun. So the predicate adjective sort of is one step up in degree of description beyond the attributive, if you will. And the verb of being is either there or supplied. Here is the full paradigm, noun adjectives in 2-1-2 declension patterns, masculine, feminine, neuter, and you can notice that there is exact agreement between the adjectives and the nouns that they would modify. And we'll look at that in a moment, but one thing that is beautiful about Greek is the symmetry and the precision of the language. We are able to identify what word goes with what word by the inflected patterns and the consistency of those patterns. So if there is a nominative singular noun, the adjective describing it is going to be nominative singular and whatever gender, masculine, feminine, or neuter. There is exact agreement. So what you have learned previously of nominative, genitive, dative, accusative, the 4 cases, singular and plural, that paradigm applies exactly to adjectives. And you can see the consistency with the definite article as well. That's why I've placed the noun rules here again, and we can almost think of these as adjective rules. Stems ending alpha or eta are the first declension. Stems ending omicron the second. Consonant stems the third. Every neuter word has the same form in the nominative and the accusative. Go back and let you look at that. Ta agathon for nominative singular, accusative singular, ta agathon, nominative plural, ta agatha, ta agatha. Almost all neuter words end in alpha in the nominative accusative plural. The dative singular, number 4, in the dative singular, the iota subscripts if possible. You can see that, dative singular, to, te, to for the definite article. Vowels lengthen. The genitive dative, the masculine neuter will always be identical. And you can see that as well. When we parse adjectives, we describe them in terms of the cases and gender, masculine, singular, and this is nominative, agathos, nominative, masculine, singular, genitive, masculine or neuter, singular, the good man, the good person, neuter, singular, agathon, a good thing, and that would obviously be nominative or accusative, neuter, singular, same ending, and agathos, dative plural, to the good men, to the good things. Let's think about functions of adjectives for a few moments with reference to the article. Articular adjectives can be one of two functions in a sentence, attributive or substantival. Attributive, they would modify the noun with or without the article. That doesn't matter. We're thinking about the article and the adjective in the phrase or sentence. And they agree in case, number, and gender. So, for example, ha anthropos, ha agathos, or ha agathos anthropos. Either way, the good man. Notice that the definite article precedes the adjective in both phrases and describes the man. And there's exact agreement, case, number, and gender both nominative, masculine, singular. So, attributive, they provide an attribute to the head noun. Or substantival, just as we thought about previously in English. Function as a substantive or a noun. They match the noun. Or excuse me, there is no matching noun in the phrase or sentence. What they match is they're used in a particular way with a certain case and number and gender, and that's determined by how that adjective is used in the sentence. So how the word is used, how the speaker or writer wants to use the word, will determine whether they want nominative, genitive, dative, accusative, or singular plural, or the thing they're talking about would be masculine, feminine, or neuter. And so, ha agathos, the good, could be man or person or idea, and that's nominative here. The good is doing the action. Notice the next one, tain pistain, the faithful. Here, this is accusative, so it would have to follow a verb in terms of how it would be translated. It could precede the verb in word order, but in how it's translated, it is something's being said about tain pistain, the faithful woman, the faithful church, whatever. But here it would be substantival as an adjective. So, an article can be attributive or substantival. Without the article, called anarthrous, can be attributive or predicate. Here, the attributive anarthrous adjective modifies a noun. Again, that noun doesn't have to have an article, or it may, in the phrase or sentence, and agrees with that noun in case, number, and gender. Ergois agathos. Those are dative plural. To the good works. Agathos modifying ergois, good works. Anarthrous adjective modifying that noun, giving an attribute of it. Ergu paneru, evil work, of the evil work. So without, an adjective can be attributive or with, and context will help us to determine meaning. And either way, the big idea here is if it's attributive, it gives an attribute. Or anarthrous adjectives rather, can be predicate adjectives. They modify a particular noun but they're separated from it by that verb of being. They agree yet in case number and gender, but they are giving a quality of it, as we noted earlier. God is true. Someone's not just saying true God or the true God, but God is true, emphasizing that aspect in a particular way. That's a predicate adjective. Ha anthropos agathos, the man is good. Not just the good man, but the man is good. And again, context is going to help you determine meaning. If a verb of being would need to be supplied, or if a verb of being is there, then it's a predicate adjective. You can see this in the translation work this week. I've underlined here protoi as an adjective. What does it modify? And in the next phrase, eskatoi, what does it modify? The next couple we've seen already in the previous slide, paneru. How about tain epuranion? You see tain basileon there? Well, just a couple of these to think about as well. Number 9, I've underlined agathois with ergois. And obviously they're attributive, modifying ergois, the good work. Or good works, rather, plural. Well, let's look at some vocab. Ionios, I am owned, eternal. Apekrithe, I pick an argument, pick a fight, he, she, it answered. Again, some of these are just silly. Doulos, a little easier. Do, that's what a slave, you do. Well, keep pressing on. Again, twice a day, 5 days a week, you will be successful in Greek. The morning, perhaps working on vocab main, a little bit of grammar. In the evening, more grammar and just a bit of vocab, I might suggest. But every day, 15 minutes or so in the morning, and good 45 minutes, half hour at least in the evening. Translation once or twice a day, vocab as well, and you will be successful. Keep pressing on.